In Indus Valley Civilization, Harappa was the first site to be discovered, but it was badly destroyed by brick robbers. In contrast, Mohenjodaro was far better preserved site. So if we study Mohenjodaro in brief, we will understand the urban planning of Harappan civilization. To better understand the urban planning of Mohenjodaro, we will divide the content into three sections of the settlement, drainage system, and domestic architecture. Sections of settlement. Most Harappan settlements have a small high western part and a larger lower eastern section. The settlement of Mohenjo-daro also divided into two sections, one smaller but higher. Archaeologists designate this portion as a citadel. The citadel owes its height because the buildings were constructed on mud brick platforms. It was walled, which means it was physically separated from the lower town. It is on the citadel that we find evidences of structures that were probably used for special public purposes, like warehouse, great bath, which was a large rectangular tank in a courtyard surrounded by a corridor on all four sides. The other portion of the settlement, which was much larger but lower, archaeologists designate this as Lower Town. Lower Town was also walled. There were variations in sections of settlements in few cases. At sites such as Dholavira and Lothal, the entire settlement was fortified. The citadel within Lothal was not walled off but was built at a height. Drainage system. One of the most distinctive features of Harappan cities was the carefully planned drainage system. If we observe the plan of the lower town, we will notice that roads and streets were laid out along an approximate grid pattern intersecting at right angles. It seems that streets with drains were laid out first and then houses built along them. If domestic wastewater had to flow into the street drains, every house needed to have at least one wall along a street, so every house was connected to the street drains. The main channels were made of bricks set in mortar and were covered with loose bricks that could be removed for cleaning. In some cases, limestone was used for the covers. House drains first emptied into a sump or cesspit into which solid matter settled while wastewater flowed out into the street drains. Very long drainage channels were provided at intervals with sumps for cleaning. The drainage system were not unique to the larger cities but were found in smaller settlements as well. As Lothal, for example, while houses were built of mud bricks, drains were made of burnt bricks. Domestic architecture. The lower town at Mohenjo-daro provides examples of residential buildings. Many were centered on a courtyard with rooms on all sides. The courtyard also probably the center of activities such as cooking and weaving, particularly during hot and dry weather. What is also interesting is an apparent concern for privacy. There are no windows in the walls along the ground level. Besides, the main entrance does not give a direct view of the interior of the courtyard. Every house had its own bathroom paved with bricks, with drains connected through the wall to the street drains. Some houses have remains of staircases to reach a second story or the roof. Many houses had wells, often in a room that could be reached from the outside and perhaps used by passers-by. Scholars have estimated that the total number of wells in Mohenjo-daro was about 700.